Hello YouTubers and welcome back to Go Figure Customs YouTube channel. Time once again for another quick custom review. Probably gonna see a lot of these posted all at one time because I've done a bunch of customs recently, but I haven't done a bunch of cards. So I only finish the video when I get the figure carded. So there's probably going to be a whole bunch of these at one time. If you get bored of that, I'm sorry. Also, I have figured out, I'm pretty sure I know why I can't see some of the comments on my page. It seems like anything that's coming from out of the United States, for some reason, I'm not able to, I can see it in a drop down, but if I click on it, it's blank. And if I go to the video, it says that there's one comment, but it doesn't show any. I go into my YouTube studio and it doesn't show any comments. So it looks like if you're commenting from outside of the United States, I'm not able to see your comment to respond to it. I don't know how to change that. I don't know that I can change that because I've been working on this problem for quite some time. So in advance, if you're from outside of the United States and comment on the video and I'm not able to respond to you, I'm sorry, but thank you for commenting. Anyway, this particular video, as you saw in the title, as Alice behind me there trying to decide what to do, is going to be the review of my female iron anvil custom. Shout out to Richard Whipple? Yes. Richard Whipple of Think Tank Toys for hooking me up with a 3-pack of iron and convention iron anvils. I already set them back on that flag. I was going to stick them up. I used one of those for my custom. So thanks, Richard. And you will see Richard on a future episode of General Geekery. We don't have a date set for that yet, but he will be a guest on General Geekery in the near future. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, let's have a look at that.
This is my female iron anvil custom. So the base figure is just straight Marauder Task Force Valkyrie with custom, well, it isn't straight Marauder Task Force Valkyrie. Let me take that back. The forearms are from the convention iron anvil. The hands are the Marauder Task Force. The upper legs are Marauder Task Force, while the lower legs are, again, the convention iron anvil figure, and the boots are, again, Marauder Task Force. The head is a custom cast that I've had for a long time. Someone pointed out which Star Wars figure it's a cast of, and I don't recall, and I'm sorry. It's something I've had sitting around in my fodder bin for a long time. The paint on that ended up, she kind of has like this sneer. I didn't do that intentionally, but I like how it turned out. I added water slide decals to her chest and to her to the patch spot on the right arm. Those were provided by Bad Mother Tattoo. You can find them on eBay. They're gold foil. I haven't figured out how to print the silver and the gold, so I buy those from Bad Mother Tattoo for a reasonable price and quick shipping. So that's the figure. The vest is modified Marauder the paint job. What did we do for the paint job? Paint job is this is one of those times where, yes, the figure is black, but I don't use black paint. Black can be too black sometimes, as odd as that may sound. It looks like I didn't get her hair underneath. See, this is one of the things that I hate about shooting video and doing still photography is then I catch all of the little paint errors that I missed when I was looking over the figure before. And then I get upset because I'm like, geez, I should have friggin' seen that, but I didn't. So I will have to go back and fix that, probably before I shoot the still photos. Anyway, I airbrushed on Tamiya Sea Blue, did a wash, and then did some dry brushing over it, and then did another wash over that. The red's just a just one of the Citadel colors. I couldn't tell you. The gold is, again, Citadel. It is not my favorite paint to work with. They changed the formula a couple years ago, and it doesn't coat very well, and I don't like it. I've seen someone painting on YouTube, and I unfortunately closed the painting gold on YouTube, and I think it was Vallejo, but I'm not positive. But anyway, I closed the window before I saved it, so I lost my opportunity to find another gold paint. It's okay, but it's really thick, and I don't like how it works anymore since they've changed the formula. The head is just the figure, just another part of the convention exclusive. I did modify it. I did Dremel a hole in there to go with the vest. Again, Marauder Task Force vest with Marauder Task Force pouch on the bottom. And then I trimmed the pouches off the Iron Anvil vest, which is just a modified Alley Viper vest as near as I can tell, and then added them along with the sheath and the grenade. And then this came off of one of the Ace figures, and then I dremeled a small hole in there and put a piece of plastic in there. And what's really cool about this, oh, this is really hard to do. Well, I'm not. Yeah, I gotta look closer. Hang on a sec here. Is the helmet will actually plug in to the oxygen bottle, which is pretty cool. And at least I think it's pretty cool. I don't know. And then I put a deep water slide decal on the back too. It's the backpack that came with the figure again. Water slide decal on it as well. It didn't get quite centered, but it wasn't terrible enough for me to want to take it off and redo it. The knife came with her. And then Marauder Task Force gun, just a quick modification of like the M4. I did glue like the sight and the grip and the magazine in place, just because once I have it built, I don't intend to change it ever again, and it's going to be in packaging anyway, because I card all my figures. So for me to just glue everything in place to make sure it doesn't fall apart is fine by me. If I was doing a commission, I would probably, it would depend. It would depend on who that's for. I would probably still glue stuff in. I might leave the magazine unglued so people could have that functionality, but I probably would modify the weapon so stuff didn't fall off of it, so they didn't lose it. The reserve chute, boy, that came off of like any number of half a dozen figures. The pouches are off the convention figure again, and then it has two different sets of web gear kind of built into one thing. So that's her, and I didn't paint on the inside because it probably would have rub. Now, it doesn't clip in either because it should plug in right there. But what's kind of nice is once the vest is on, this sits right behind this particular pouch, and you can't tell that it's not plugged in. So it's not 100% functional, but at the same time, you know what? It fits and it works pretty well, and it's really hard to tell that it doesn't function like it really should. Anyway, that's her completely ungeared, so let's gear her up. Of course, interchangeable head. And the head doesn't sit too well. It sits kind of high on the body, I know. That's because it needs to sit high enough on her vest, with her vest on. So, and I thought about doing a, the dog's barking, god damn it. Thought about doing a magnet, because I really like the rare earth magnets, but this pegged in so well that I didn't want to, I'm like, you know what, it works really well how it is. I'm not going to add I'm not going to make this any more difficult than it needs to be. This is really hard to do because I'm watching my phone, so it's like performing surgery through. Ooh, you know what? I am going to not plug that in because I haven't taken pictures of it yet. So hope I didn't get paint rub. No. So I'm not going to leave that. I'm going to leave that off for right now. Oh, but I didn't. Dang it. All right. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat this up to soften it up so it goes on better. So I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, there it is with her reserve chute and kind of the harness on. And then we'll swap the head real quick. And I did heat that up to soften the plastic of the harness. Boy, that don't want to go on there, does it? And there we go. So yes, I did heat up the harness a bit to get it to go on the legs. And since it's sealed, I didn't get any any paint rubs from the heat. So there she is geared up with the harness. I heated that up. With the sealant, it prevented any paint from coming off while it was being heated. And since I heated it up, it was very rubbery, which then prevented me from getting paint rubs. And you can see it doesn't quite stretch all the way around. That's why it didn't plug in. But sitting underneath her arm, it's really hard to tell. So not everything is perfect all the time, and it doesn't have to be. Remember, the only person that has to be happy with your own, I left the backpack in the other room. Good gravy. Okay, so anyway, as I was saying, the only person that has to be happy with your customs is you. So there you go. Female iron anvil. And here she is on the card. I created a stock card, meaning, so I have 3 templates, 1 G.I. Joe, 1 Destro, 1 Cobra, for figures that don't have vintage art, like the iron anvil. So it's just a generic template for those particular figures. And this is my stock template for Destro, for Iron Grenadiers. So I had a hard time deciding whether or not which head to leave on the figure when I carded her. I went ahead and kept the helmeted head on, just because I like the fact that it plugs her oxygen bottle plugs into the mask. It kind of depends on how well I think the unmasked head turned out. Some of the customs, I have really nice unmasked heads, and those are the ones that will go on the figure. But on this one, I just decided to go with the masked head. And then, of course, it's double-sided. And I used the file information that I found on either 3D Joe's or yojo.com. And kind of got a little trimmed a little too closely up there. This one didn't turn out too well, unfortunately. You can see it got trimmed too close to the bottom there. So this is definitely not a perfect card. However, since this is going up against a wall, and more than likely this is the only time anybody besides myself is ever going to see it, I am not going to bother to fix it. If I was sending this out to a customer for a commission, yeah, this wouldn't fly. I would redo the card. But since this one's for me, not too worried about it. The little Easter egg on this is, I think I mentioned it before, the first figure in the top left is always going to be the figure that's on the card. I don't know that I've also mentioned the fact that one of the things I loved about the figures as a kid was a list of the equipment that it came with. Because sometimes I'm like, what is that? You know, as a kid, I'm like, I don't know what that is. And it always said on the edge of the card what they came with. And it made it easier to figure out what came along with the figure. So I do that in Photoshop on all of my cards. And that's about all I got for the female iron anvil. So, as always, please do that fun social media stuff. Like, share, subscribe, and comment below. And thanks for watching.